Good evening, everybody. We are back to Late Night on Campus. We're live. It's 10 o'clock, Donnie, you know. The Late Night on Campus. It's Wednesday evening, June 28, 2017. As always, I'm your boy, the Big Man on Campus, joined by my co-host, Donnie. Right side. How you doing tonight?
Hey, live and in charge. I would be a little bit better if I could scrape out a win. You know, today on the roundtable, smoked a nice, another easy win on the Toronto Blue Jays, but gave out tonight the Toronto Blue Jays over 9 minus 125. Baltimore might as well have not even get off the bus today. So in a surly mood tonight, opening up the week 0-3, kind of rare for me. You know, I haven't had a losing week yet, so I am going to have to turn on the Jets. But other than that, I'm fantastic.
Yeah, you know, Donnie, it's plenty of time left, Donnie. You know, we have obviously the weekend coming up. You got a Thursday and Friday card, so a lot to do. Week is very young still. Welcome into everyone out there listening. Donnie, we are sponsored and brought to you by betonline.com. Head on over to BetOnline for all your sports betting needs. They are also on SBRodds.com, one of the premier books in the business, Donnie, BetOnline. And they are bringing us and bringing you the Late Night on Campus. So good people over there. Donnie, welcome into all the listeners out there. As always, I'm going to have the chat box up here in one moment. A lot to do tonight, a lot going on in the world of sports, not only on the field or the diamond, if you will, but a lot going on off the field. We have some trades going down in the National Basketball Association. Basketball not ready to go away, Donnie, right side. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Get a little buy or sell we'll go through. We do that once in a while. Listeners usually like it. And we will talk some other things as well. I got to ask you, Donnie, other than your why are you using you should be using your play of the day on the chat or the roundtable as your premium play. They're getting the job done.
Yeah, a lot of people can't get some of those first 5 inning wagers there, and there's no tracking system out there on the market or like a third-party site that would do that. So I stay away from those. I put a little bit of money on those, put them out there. I don't track them. I should track them because they damn near hit every single time I put one of those out. But, yeah, no, they're just for fun plays, you know, put a little bit of money on it, see what can happen.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff there, Donnie. We obviously are doing pretty well with those as a whole. I know I hit mine today finally. I've been losing a couple of those, but, yeah, we got the job done. So, Donnie, let's jump into it here. As always, we'll start with some of the games that have already went final. Earlier today, the San Francisco Giants, surprisingly, get the job done at San Francisco against Colorado. I think a lot of people looked at this game and thought, well, Blatch has not been pitching well lately. You know, Freeland's kind of that guy. But, Donnie, this Rockies team is really flying back to earth. I mean, this was kind of the concern with this group. You know, obviously they're looking up now at the Dodgers and Diamondbacks. They're 6 games back. That's 8 in a row now. They've lost. What's going on with the Rockies?
I mean, I don't know what's really going on in the Rockies, but it was kind of funny to look at, Jeff. When San Francisco posted that lineup today, I mean, you couldn't even pick them out of a lineup. It was actually almost comical of what they put out there today. But that just goes to show you 19% of the public backing San Francisco with their joke lineup, and they get a 5-3 win here in that game. Barely stays under the number 8.5, 9 was out there. But, yeah, Colorado not posting, you know, quote-unquote, big wins anymore. They're sort of slipping back, leaving up to Arizona and the Dodgers out there in the NL West. But an interesting one today, Jeff, looked like, again, San Francisco just throwing the lineup out there saying, we'll see what happens. And they pick up the W there.
Yeah, now they got to head out, I mean, over the weekend to Arizona, which is going to be a tough crack. But you look at this lineup today for the Giants. Like, you look at some of the names in this lineup. I mean, Gorkys, Hernandez, Slater, Hwang, Nick Hundley,
Kelby Tomlinson.
R. Jones. I mean, who the fuck are these guys? It's like, remember Donnie in Major League when they, at the beginning, they get all these people that no one has ever heard of, and it's like, who the hell are these guys? You know, that's what you had today for the Giants. It was just a mess of a group. Buster Posey didn't play either, so
nobody played. Look, damn near, it was like a joke lineup, like almost like they just transferred over their AAA team and just put a couple guys in.
Yeah, really bad stuff right now if you're following the Rockies. The other game today, Donnie, during the matinee time was the Phillies, who again beat Seattle as a big underdog. You know, not an overly great game offensively for the Phillies, but look, I mean, the rearing of its ugly head came up, and that was the bullpen for Seattle, Donnie. Felix Hernandez was pretty effective. Patsos and Nick Vincent were fine, but then Edwin Diaz looking to close the game out. Gives up a home run to Tommy Joseph. Then gives up another big hit. Phillies walk it off and get the job done. Nice win last couple of days by the Phillies. They are taking money out of a lot of people's pockets.
Yeah, I believe it was 10 straight road series that the Phillies had dropped until taking this quick 2-game series in Seattle. And again, Leiter with a nice pitching outing, gave up a couple solo home runs. But again, Jeff, if you're going to get yourself in trouble and you're going to give up home runs, you might as well give them up as the solo kind as opposed to, 2 and 3 run home runs or grand slams. Phillies fought well. I mean, I watched the game. Ty Kelly hit a home run off of King Felix. Just an amazing win overall for the Philadelphia Phillies. Couldn't see it coming. And I believe they closed close to plus 200. Plus 204, plus 205 across the board. So nice win if you had that. Also the over-under at 9. Looks like it closed at 9. Some 8.5s were out there. But nice win by the Phillies coming home with that huge momentum on their way to winning a wild card spot here, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, you think about if you did a 2-team open parlay, Donnie, last night with the Phillies and today with the Phillies, you would have made a nice chunk of change there. So nice job by the Phillies getting the job done. Buy or sell, Phillies make 60 wins. I mean, they're at 26.
I think it's hard to win in the 50s. I mean, you have to, it's just, I would buy saying they're going to get to 60 wins. It's hard to win.
I mean, you got to figure, you would think they'll be close to 30 by the All-Star break, maybe 29, 30. You would think in the dog days of summer against the Braves and, win 2 out of 3 against the Mets once in a while. They should get close to it, but it's definitely going to be close. I mean, it's hard to believe they're going to win 60 games. I mean, really. Next one here. These claims just finished up. Donnie, I know you don't want to head down this road, but I guess we'll have to head down it. The Blue Jays blank the Orioles behind a nice outing from Marcus Stroman. He goes 7 2/3, just gives up 5 hits and 1 walk. He was very effective tonight. And, look, Wade Miley did his job. He gave up some runs, but again, I had this last night, Donnie, and it was, I think, the exact same score. So I feel your pain here. You get a run in the first, you're kind of feeling good, thinking, okay, 4th inning, it's 4-0. You're kind of halfway there, almost, and then the scoring just stops. What happened here?
Yeah, it was interesting to watch. I mean, watching most of this game, Stroman had it working. I mean, the umpire was helping him out. He was painting the outside corner continuously, which never helps. But it's, when you look at Marcus Stroman, I know he gave up the 7 earned runs last game. Did I expect him to give up 7 earned runs again? No, he's a pretty good pitcher. But I had him pegged for about 3 to 4 runs. And the one thing that you can look at Marcus Stroman, he gives up the home run ball. You're in a homer dome out there. The dome's open. You let the humidity in. The wind was blowing out. And you have a team that can hit home runs, a la the Baltimore Orioles. So even if the Orioles go down and don't play well and, suck at the plate, one of those guys usually hits a couple solo home runs to keep you in the game. Toronto didn't do themselves any favors, consistently hitting into double plays. They started the first 6 innings in this one, Jeff, getting the lead runner on 6 straight times. They only scored in 2 of those innings, which is, not, Toronto Blue Jay like that. A very good lineup out there. But again, didn't help themselves, had bases loaded. Got it to 4 runs, but just couldn't peg it through. Even in the later innings there, you had Wade Miley over 100 pitches in the 5th inning, leadoff walk, back-to-back strikeouts with, back-to-back strikeouts with full counts. If one of those guys walks or both walks, you get another base hit. That game gets blown up. And also another thing that you look for with totals, Jeff, which, everybody does. Alec Asher comes in, I believe, in the 6th inning, just that long relief guy. 3 innings you're going to give him, maybe gives up 2 or 3 runs. You just peg him and make the game a runaway. But there was never any stress. Stroman threw almost 120 pitches in this one, and they barely even got to second base. So just a bad one by the Orioles overall. You can't have a total typically, Jeff, as you know, where one team participates and the other one doesn't give a shit.
What happened to Wade Miley? He was good on MLB The Show last year. What the hell does him being in a video game have to do with him in real life?
Yeah, he was good in the video game.
Does that make any sense? Who cares? Thank you, Big Simon, for the $1 donation. We appreciate it. Big says, "Here's $1. Go fuck yourself." Okay, thank you, Big. Big actually called into the voicemail last night, Donnie. So we'll have to get to that a little bit later. He called in. Donnie, I'm going to keep saying it, and I'll say it again. The Cubs fucking suck. This team sucks. I mean, can we get over ourselves with the Cubs? This team blows. The lineup.
Well, they threw their catcher off the team, so maybe that'll turn it around for the rest of the year.
I'm sure that'll change. John Lackey was bad again tonight, Donnie. He gave up 6 runs before the visitors or before the fans sat in their seats. It was 6-0 in the 3rd inning. Cubs tried to make a comeback but weren't able to do it. Another big win for the Nationals at home. Donnie, does it seem like actually, I'm sorry, this was not at home. This was
No, it's in Washington tonight.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't know what I'm thinking. Does it seem like they play every game at home? Doesn't it?
I think that it really does. It seems like they play every game at home and rake every game at home.
Yeah. By the way, Donnie, I did want to get to this. I have truced. No more talking about people for me on the show. I'm trucing with that, Donnie. Okay. I'm not going to bring anyone up anymore. Just causes too many problems. I try to have a shtick, and it didn't work. So I apologize to anyone that I've offended over the years on here. It's not something I'm looking to do. Just trying to have some fun. So I've graduated, Donnie. I'm giving it up. No more having talking about others on the chat. All right.
My son has grown up. This is an impressive day on SBR for us.
I don't really want to, but people don't understand my emotion, so I guess I have to stop. But thank you, big man. You have offended me. Yeah, Jim, I'm not going to stop talking about you just because you're a weird guy. But well, by the way, Donnie, Nationals get the job done tonight. Pittsburgh, Donnie gets the job done behind one of the best pitchers in the NL, Ivan Nova. Another sparkling outing from our friend Ivan Nova. Didn't go deep into this game. 5 innings. Gave up 2 earned runs. Didn't really strike anyone out, but an effective night from him again. Tampa Bay was awful with runners in scoring position. 2 for 13. Ooh. So I guess it wasn't necessarily Ivan Nova. It was just they couldn't score any runs. This guy's pitching really well. I think he's a bet-on guy every time he pitches.
Yeah, I didn't put much time in that game. I know how well Nova is, but again, I'm not really big. I don't care what the pitcher is. If he's coming back from an extended, period of time where he's not in the major leagues, I'm just not going to bet the game. But that's a tough one. I believe that 8 runs in that one pretty early in that game. Or it had a couple innings to go. Over/under closed at 8.5. So that's a stinging loss if anybody was sitting on the over in that game. Because again, I think it was. A lot of runs early in that game would look like you were going to cruise over the total and just didn't get home.
Oh, and by the way, I'm not giving up talking about trolls. I'm just giving it up talking about other people that I kind of like or that have some sort of know-how in this business. If you're a troll, I'm going to keep talking. LOL Mariners laying -200 against the Phillies. Phillies are bad, but these teams in Seattle shouldn't be laying 200 with mediocre pitchers. Great point. I wouldn't lay 200 with Felix Hernandez in a matinee game. Would you, Donnie?
No, it's understandable. The Phillies are getting taxed right now the opposite way. It's just in a horrible, horrible team, horrible organization. So in a normal game where you're playing a bad team, maybe Felix is maybe -155, -160. But I imagine, Jeff, can you honestly see? And again, what was the whole prevailing wisdom today? I kept hearing no way the Phillies win 2 in a row. Well, there you go.
Yeah, actually, I said that.
Oh, you did? There you go.
Yeah, but hey, they proved me wrong. But again, I said it earlier in the roundtable. Bet on Ivan Nova. You're going to get a good price with him just because he pitches for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, when you see Ivan Nova too, Jeff, it's kind of impressive because he doesn't overpower you. He doesn't let you walk. He pitches the soft contact. It's one of those things that you say, is there going to be regression in that? But each and every night he goes out, you get the same exact thing, and nobody's raking him, so it's working.
And by the way, that little tease coming up, Donnie, I can't wait to throw something in Tho Marino's face here in a little bit. Looking forward to it. Again, it's something he's been harping on for a long time. So, Tho Marino, stick around. We're looking forward to talking with you in a little bit. Royals, Donnie, get the job done 8-2. Ian Kennedy, a very nice outing. How about that? 7 innings, 2 earned runs. Daniel Norris was not effective here. And Donnie Wright said the Kansas City Royals are 500 and keep on winning. How about that?
Yeah, no, we talked about it on the roundtable today. It's one of my teams to back as the season goes along. I think, again, it's all about their hitting. If Kansas City can hit like the way they've been doing it, they're going to be a pretty good team, getting good overall starting pitching also. So one of those teams I'm looking to back down the stretch, so to speak. I think they have a shot, Jeff. You talk about them getting in the wild card. They have an honest shot at getting there as long as they continue to hit and pitch well, and I think they will.
Ooh, burn. He's used to having semen thrown in his face. What's the surprise? Phyllis, you got to stop burning people. That's not funny. If he likes it, that's his business.
Who are we talking about?
Nah, Spittle is trying to be funny, I guess. Zach Jones, what's up? There he is, our big, the leader of
the real big man on campus.
Yes, Zach Jones, the real big man on campus, the fearless leader of SBR Forum. Welcome in, Zach Jones. By the way, Donnie, we want to bring this up as people are coming in and having some fun here.
Sure.
The International Betting Conference down in Costa Rica.
Football, Jeff. Don't leave out football, goddamn.
Well, I know, but again, I just call it the International Betting Conference, the International Football Betting Conference down in Costa Rica, August 4th and 5th. A bevy of industry insiders and professionals are going to be there. Leading off by the glitz and glammy lineup is me, the big man on campus. I'll be one of the mainstays at this group.
The MC, Jeff. Yes, you will be.
I should be the MC. Honestly, Zach, we should make that happen. I feel like I'd be a good MC, kind of introducing the guests and having some fun over.
Getting angry at the crowd. I mean, we could do it all.
You know, they throw tomatoes at me, I throw them right back or eat them. I don't know. Is Indian Cowboy coming to the conference? That's a good question, Zach. Is Indian Cowboy coming? I think he should be on the guest list for sure. I think we should have Indian Cowboy, Justin Batt, Jeff Cadillac, maybe Shark Harrison, and I don't know.
Shark Harrison, good one, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, maybe who's another long-term guest? Maybe Joe Duffy. Let's get the old guys. Can Megan Rochester make an appearance, Zach? Is she in there?
Yeah, but I mean, coming down, you'll have a live roundtable in person, Jeff. You know, it's going to be Pete, me, you, Drew, Ed, Mark. Yeah. Everybody down there. Gabe Morency's going to be there. Drew Martin's going to be down there. Gil Alexander, Ed Fang, Mark Lawrence, Clay Travis, Teddy Covers, Matthew Holt, a whole host of people. I'm sure a lot more people are going to be adding on to that as well. I'm very interested in meeting up with Clay Travis, maybe put on a DBAP T-shirt with him and take a couple selfies. And we'll have some fun.
Maybe Dave Dolokhov and Dax Floyd will be there too. That would be interesting.
How about Dax Shepard? Is he going to be there?
Who?
Dax Shepard.
By the way, though, I will probably be one of the only presenters that will have a drink with you. Some might think they're too good for you, but I'm not. I'm a big man on campus. Ross Benjamin, I don't believe he'll be there. But, hey, what do I know? But, yes, come down, have some fun with us. We're trying to figure out, Donnie, what and how we're going to give some of these passes out. We have our hands on free passes, Donnie, to the SBR.
Free hotel room, transportation from the airport. Basically, buy your plane ticket down there and enjoy it with us, and we'll cover the rest.
So if you're a woman out there and you're interested in having
that is true, big man. That is a good one.
Get in touch with me, and maybe we could – remember that episode, Donnie, of Entourage when Vinny Chase has that movie premiere and Turtle has all those – invites to give to people and he just gives them like women.
Exactly. Yes. Or it was a birthday party, wasn't it?
Yeah. Some kind of event of some sort. We'll have to definitely try to get them to some eager listeners. We want good people though. We don't want people that are boring and don't have any fun. Make sure you're coming and we're going to have some fun and, preferably, you like to have, good time. So, Donnie,
with me past 9 o'clock, we'll have a little bit of fun, but after that, I'm going to be pretty tired, Jeff.
Yeah, well, I'd expect you to be in bed by 9 o'clock at night. Games in progress, Donnie, going on right now. By the way, the Mets got the job done 8-0 against the Marlins.
Stayed under that one, too. Another one just bites the dust on that.
Jeff Locke obviously has issues tonight, which I don't think anyone was surprised by. Cincinnati beats Milwaukee 4-3. Don, I know you mentioned to me the pitcher for the Milwaukee Brewers, Chase Anderson, went out early after the first inning. Paolo Espino comes in, gives him 3 innings. Did give up some runs, but nice job here by the Reds to kind of get to that guy and you kind of do what they needed to do.
That's a nice break. You look when you're gambling, you always look for stuff like that. Similar to betting a football game when college football game or whatever it is, the starting quarterback goes down in the first quarter. You always like to get. I mean, you don't root for it obviously, but you always like to get some of that luck. And again, if you were back in Cincinnati tonight, that's some nice luck because they had a good pitcher going for the Brewers. Then you just throw them right in the bullpen mode basically for 8 innings. So good call if you had the Cincinnati Reds tonight.
Yeah, exactly. What else do we have going on here tonight, Donnie? Minnesota's up 4-1 on Boston. 2 more outs left for Boston to try to get back into this game. Minnesota kind of needed to salvage something here, Donnie. They've not been particularly good in this series, but they've done enough tonight. Red Sox bats have been pretty quiet. Nice job of the Twins. Hopefully they can figure it out here. Yankees, Donnie, up 5-2. They kind of added back to the lead. They were up 3-0. Tanaka got in some trouble in the 5th inning, but a nice job by the Yankees. Come in, get right back at it. And I'll tell you what, Donnie, you look at some of these young players tonight. Tyler Wade with a big hit just now, a single or a double scoring Austin Romine.
Yeah, one of those kids can really run, too. I wonder if that was him. I didn't recognize who that was, but that must have been one of the young kids out there.
Yeah, Miguel Andujar had a big hit. You looked at this lineup tonight, obviously like with some of the other lineups and saying to yourself, you got a lot of young kids in this lineup, but they're scoring some runs tonight. Nice to see the bullpen's now in. They couldn't get to Rodon other than in the first inning. And nice to see them add back to that lead after Tanaka gets in a little trouble. A battery, what a game down in Houston tonight, Donnie. 9-7 in the sixth inning. These pitchers were out fairly early in this one. Hahn
had been solid on the road, but he got torched right away. And with Paulino out there, he got rocked as well. I mean, about that Oakland team, Jeff. A lot of no-names in that lineup, putting up a lot of runs lately there.
Donnie, every day I look at the umpire numbers today.
Yeah.
You look at Quinn Walcott.
Yeah.
10-4 to the over tonight. Actually, I'm sorry, not Quinn Walcott. He was in your game, Donnie. It was I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong game. You actually had the best over-ump tonight in baseball, but didn't.
For which one, Toronto?
Yeah, Walcott. He was on your game.
Walcott's a career under guy, but that's all thrown out the window this year. I mean, there's something up with the balls. But again, today, looking overall, Jeff, a lot of these games sneaking or staying under the total for the most part here.
Yeah, no, exactly. One other one here, St. Louis and Arizona. Arizona threatening, Donnie. Bases loaded, 1 out. David Peralta, up, a great guy to be on. Adam Wainwright, we've talked about issues on the road. Can he get out of this inning? He's going to need to. Zach Godley pitching pretty well so far. Knock on wood. We'll keep up to date with that one. LA and Arizona. LA and the LA Angels. They are scoreless in the first. And San Diego, Atlanta are scoreless in the first. And we have our friend Bartolo Colon, who has just started his new assignment. And already he has a runner on base. So not surprising. Donnie, lot going on in the NBA today. Chris Paul heads to Houston, and we were just talking about Houston.
Yeah, how about that?
And again, you look at this trade and you say to yourself, okay, now you got a great backcourt. Chris Paul, James Harden. Obviously, you're getting a prototypical all-star in Chris Paul, 35 years old. I guess the first thing I say to myself is, it's clear that the Clippers are somewhat trying to rebuild, right? I mean, in a way, like they're getting rid of some of these bigger contract kind of guys. But wouldn't you – I mean, you spent most of your career in L.A. Why not – is it all about nowadays just going and forming these super teams?
Yes. Yeah.
It's not about –
yeah.
So all that, I'm for L.A., I'm for the city, I love L.A., this is my home, blah, 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 all that stuff, that was all just talk, I'm guessing?
These guys make the best part about it is the whole bird rights thing, and they can make super max if they stay here. Right. Jeff, these guys make so much freaking money, and it's all guaranteed money that they say, all right, like in the same way you would do. Imagine all your boys where you're like, hey, man, I live in Philadelphia, I'm banking here. And they go, Jeff, take a small pay cut and come down to Atlanta, and all your friends are here. You have the time of your life. These guys are gone. The Nike money, the sneaker money, the endorsement money, the regular cash. You're saying, hey, we could pay you an extra $7 million a year. They're making that buku off the court anyway. What the hell does it even matter,
Yeah, I mean, but again, I feel like with Jerry West there now, I feel with – I feel like this was very much about his issues with Doc Rivers, who, by the way, is one of the more overrated coaches we've seen. I mean, the guy wins a championship with the Boston Celtics with three Hall of Famers on the team, and all of a sudden he's a great coach. I mean, what has he done out in L.A.? Nothing. But either way, you get rid of a great – I mean, you look at the haul they gave up to get him. A lot of people, they have no depth in this team right now, but – look, they're going out to try to get these big names. If they can get a 3, if they can go out and get Paul George, I mean, now you really can compete with the Warriors, I think. But, again, I mean, you lose a really good defender in Patrick Beverley. Chris Paul's still a good defender, though. I mean, right up there with the likes of Patrick Beverley. You're just not getting obviously the offensive numbers that, Chris Paul would give you. But, again, they're trying to make a run here, Donnie, and it's a 3-point shooting league. You got to go down and, I guess align yourselves with that and be able to do that. And Houston looks like they're going to bomb away from 3. Can they get Paul George? That's the big question. I know the Lakers are going to throw the book at him. But Chris Paul and all this, well, I love this team, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I mean, from Chris Paul's point of view, when you're a point guard, you like to rack up the assists. I mean, you have bricksters out there. Obviously, J.J. Redick can stick it, but outside of that, Blake Griffin, terrible jump shooter. DeAndre Jordan, I don't know if he can make anything outside of 2 feet. So when you're a point guard, he's going to go to an absolutely heavenly situation, Jeff. Dribble the ball up the court, flip it for a three, bang, it's good. I got another assist. He's going to absolutely love life down there with James Harden and him in the backcourt and just flipping the ball all over the place, dropping threes. The one interesting thing, again, about the NBA is Chris Paul can go to ownership in LA and be like, yeah, but by the way, I'm opting out and I would like to make more money, so try to work out a deal with Houston. Houston gives up, a couple players here and sends it back. It's just funny how business in the NBA works as opposed to anywhere else, NFL, Major League Baseball. Imagine telling your boss, I'm out of here. Just make a deal for me so I can make even more money because I'm going to be able to sign the max contract by going down there as long as I don't leave in time, like a sign and trade. It's freaking hilarious, man. Zach
makes a good point here. The West is stacked. I mean, we've heard reports of LeBron James maybe at some point going there. It's just further going to help the Philadelphia 76ers, Donnie, when it's time to challenge for a championship, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you just wait it out. And LeBron would be an idiot to go to the Western Conference. I mean, why would you go there and get caught up in that rat race in the playoffs when you can just hang in with Cleveland and get a bye into the finals and hope by attrition the West beats the hell out of each other?
Yeah, T-Wolves can be strong if they get a point guard.
Yeah, T-Wolves got a bright future. There's no question.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think Ricky Rubio is a fine point guard. I have no problem with him. He's a guy that, look, he's not going to be a flashy scorer, but he does what he needs to do with the ball. And he's turned into a pretty decent scorer. I think they're going to be fine. They're a team that I'm intrigued by, Donnie, the Warrior or the Timberwolves. I mean, obviously, added Jimmy Butler. That's huge. I think
Butler, Wiggins, and Cat, man, they're going to be. That's a nice lineup.
And Towns is an animal. So I like what they've done there. But you look at the Rockets. I mean, they still have some bigs. I mean, Ryan Anderson, kind of that wing shooter. They don't have much in the way of a big. That's something they're going to have to do. And they got rid of some of their young bigs. They need to go out and maybe grab a big. But at the end of the day, the Western Conference is going to be really fun. I'm interested to see where this all goes. Donnie, question quickly.
Sure.
The Lakers have to throw the bank at Paul George, don't they? I mean,
I guess if that's where they're setting up to go or try to do something. But again, it's, you're playing for second place out there. Do you want to throw the bank at Paul George and just get your ass kicked for the next 5 years by Golden State? I mean, it's a hard spot to be in. I know Los Angeles, you always have to bring up your best players and you have to put on a show because there's superstars sitting courtside there. But it's just a rat race to nowhere. I mean, Houston is going to be, one would think, for a couple years be good with James Harden and the Chris Paul backcourt. But again, it's about just Golden State. Unless they get hurt, they're going to blow the hell out of that Western Conference for 3 to 4 years. So yeah, I'm more likely to be not in win now mode, and the Lakers just build organically like the Sixers are. So in 4 to 5 years, when Golden State is on its way back down, you're ascending on your way up and can take control. I don't know about getting Paul George down and try to go toe to toe because Golden State will obliterate the Lakers. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you still don't have a team around him really. The Aaron Judge home run trot continues, Donnie. He's just in another one, 8-2 Yankees. So that one's looking good for Yankee fans. But again, maybe it's not due to that bullpen. How do you feel about Phil Jackson's pick getting a knee injury right after getting drafted?
What happened? What happened there? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Malik Monk was not drafted by the New York Knicks. That was Frank Ntilikina. And I've not heard anything about him getting a knee injury. Okay, there he is. You're right. I've just seen that come across here.
Go ahead. What, serious or no?
I thought he was talking about Malik Monk. I'm sorry. Yeah, Frank Ntilikina got injured. Yes. Playing professional basketball.
I love the fact that they let him pick that draft pick. They specifically want the guy for a, the triangle offense. Now they got a new regime, not even going to run the triangle. So that was a fantastic ownership move by James Dolan there.
Yeah, that's Knicks basketball for you. I actually didn't even see that. Good call, whoever that was on that. 2-0 Padres. There he is, Bartolo Colon.
Yeah, he's back in the fold, man.
Picking up right where he left off. I mean, really, I love the Clippers move. Move CP3, let LeBron know he will run the floor. Griffin is used poorly. LeBron will coach and get that right. And he'll be in LA. Good point. I can see it. They got a ton of money.
Got a house in LA. Yeah, but he's looking at super. I mean, LeBron's more likely to take a buyout from Cleveland and go play for the vet minimum in Houston than he is probably to go to the Clippers at this point.
Ballmer's got a lot of money, Donnie.
He's got a ton of money. You know what's interesting about that too, Jeff? Like with all that Microsoft money, like you say to LeBron, like, hey, get a buyout from Cleveland. Tell him you don't want to play anymore and take $3 million. I can't pay you more than $6 million for this year, but we'll sign you to an exclusive Microsoft deal where you'll pick this new computer and I'll pay you $100 million to do it. I mean, is that even legal? Can you do? I guess you could do that.
Donnie, take a guess at Steve Ballmer's net worth.
Yeah, like $25 million or $25 billion or something like that, right?
$32.2 billion.
Yeah. That's why everybody laughed when he bought the Clippers for like 3 times the price it was. And he's like, what the hell? What am I going to spend it else on? I mean,
how about this? How about you give
tons
him
of money.
LeBron a lifetime contract till he can stop playing $500 million straight up?
If to stop playing?
No, till he's done playing.
Well, no, you can't do that because the NBA standards. But again, work it around like Microsoft. Say, hey, he's right. We have a new Surface coming out next year for Microsoft, and LeBron's a spokesman. What's he get paid? $75 million a year. He could do that.
Yeah, no, that's intriguing. I mean, especially with how much I mean, it's LA. I mean, what more could you want? But as far as like markets, I mean, you're leaving LA to go to Houston. I don't know. I mean,
it's all about boys, man. Yeah, it's just worldwide. It's all about your boys. I mean, it's quality of life at this point. I mean, they're banking hundreds of millions of dollars, and then they just can team up. And now we're talking about Melo getting a buyout from the Knicks to possibly go out west and do something. Like anybody gives a damn or wants Melo on their freaking team anyway.
John Kerry, I work for Madison Square Garden, and let me tell you, it's a shithole in there. Doesn't surprise me. Gordon Hayward, I would imagine he goes to the Celtics. We'll see.
By the way, Zach brings up a good point out there. Women in sports, don't compare to men. Did you see the whole controversy from John McEnroe, what he said about Serena Williams and how everybody's so soft these days with feminism?
I didn't read into it. I heard about it. I didn't read it though.
Yeah, he was just on a broadcast, and they were asking him, and he prefaced it by saying, Serena Williams is the best women's tennis player of all time, like not even close. So then whoever the NPR said, well, why do you have to quantify that and say women's? Why can't you say the best of all time? So he came back and said, well, I don't even think she could beat the number 700 ranked, men's tennis player. And that caused like a whole shitstorm, which is hilarious because who gives a damn? Serena can't beat, the top men out there. And why would women have a problem with that? Don't we already know that? Like, what's the big deal?
Do you agree with him?
100% I agree with him.
I hear you.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, I don't know about 700 because who the hell knows who's down at 700, but they tried, I believe, that shtick a couple years ago where they played the 200th ranked male, Venus and Serena, and he wiped them right off the court, So, I mean, I don't know. Like, why can't you just be, like, why do you have to put women in front of it? Well, I don't understand. Like, she's the greatest women tennis player of all time. I think everybody agrees with that. Like, why would a woman get mad to say, well, she's not as good as a guy, but she is the greatest woman's isn't that true? I mean, what's the big deal?
She can beat me if she wants. I'll go with that.
Yeah, Clay Travis did get all over that topic too. So, but I don't know. I don't understand why everybody's in an upheaval there, saying how disrespectful.
I got to be honest, Donnie. I don't know if they want to put me and Clay Travis in the same room together.
He'll blow you out of the water, big man.
I don't know if he will.
He's a lawyer. He'll get after it. He's a lawyer.
We got pretty differing opinions on things. BMOC and Donnie, what do you guys think of a Cousins to Cavs for Shumpert, Thompson, and a future pick? Yeah, I'm not doing that. What do I want them for? Yeah,
no,
I'm not doing that. They're gonna have to give up more than that. Do you guys always bet the same amount on every game? No, I do not. Sometimes
my regular plays, I bet the same amount, but whenever I'm giving like the team total plays, I don't bet as much on those.
Donnie, let's do a little buy or sell. Feel free if you're a listener to chime in and have some fun here. I present questions to Donnie. He buys or sells those. And I came up with them kind of around sports today. Damn, Clay Travis, BMOC rivalry. I like that. Yes, let's do it. Clay Travis, bitch made. Thank you, dog. BMOC, did you get a win tonight? Yes, I did. I have the Mets, and I also have another game in progress as well. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Donnie, buy or sell? First question. The Dodgers will win the World Series. Buy or sell?
The Dodgers will win the World Series, buy or sell. At this point right now, I would have to probably say yes, Jeff, because you're looking – and again, it's early because a lot of these teams are going to make changes at the trade deadline. But if you're going to say Washington can rake and, go toe-to-toe with starting pitching in a lineup, I agree. But we all know that Achilles heel over there in Washington. You're not going to go mano-a-mano with the Dodgers when runs are at a premium late in games and they're going to have the bullpen advantage. I would lean towards the Dodgers. I don't think it's that far-fetched at this point.
I'll be interested to see what they do at free agency. I mean, all these teams, I'll be interested to see what they do at free agency.
What would the Dodgers do, though, Jeff, at free agency? Like, what would they actually do? What do they need to do? Like getting like a Neshek type guy for the 7th inning? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
They don't need hitting, you know?
I don't know. Maybe solidify a little depth. I don't know. But again, I mean, I'd like to see one more veteran on that team just because there are a lot of older players. And Adrian Gonzalez has been hurt. We'll see. Kershaw's been very good. I mean, I know he's been a little down, but he's still way better than most. Alex Wood's been very good. They've had plenty of good things going on. Dodgers are good, but they aren't good on the road, and Kershaw is the same pitcher in postseason. All right.
He's gonna have to get over that stigma, but I'm not. Again, I just take that more of as an anomaly as opposed to what actually happens because, you know, if you're going to have a playoff round, I want Clayton Kershaw on the mound for me.
Amen. And I do obviously also want to point out, Donnie, Yasiel Puig is a lot more grounded, if you've noticed. He's just kind of played and you know, he has the occasional slip up with his immaturity, but he's been a really kind of a quiet guy. He's been doing good things for them. Remember he got sent down last year? I mean, look at him.
Yeah, I always like the stories when Zach Greinke was there where during one road trip, they picked all his shit up off the bus and threw it in the middle of the street and just left him there. I mean, he was, you know, coming up, and I don't blame him because he comes over and he's an overnight sensation. Everything went to his head, and he's raking out there like, you know, I live in L.A., nobody can touch me. So it went to his head. So he did need a cooling down period.
Yeah, no, I think it kind of helped him. Donnie, another baseball question, and I kind of wanted to get into this just because I think it's really kind of been – we don't really talk about it too much, and you know, we kind of agree that he's a great pitcher, but buy or sell, Max Scherzer is the best pitcher in baseball right now.
I would buy it. I really would buy it. I mean, just an absolute bulldog out there on the mound that can throw 125 pitches, been there, done that, Cy Young winner. I mean, if I had one game to choose one pitcher, it's probably Max Scherzer right now.
I mean, Donnie, you look at in Washington, what exactly he's done. I mean, these numbers are absolutely unbelievable. I mean, in 82 starts for the Nationals, an ERA of 2.73, 2 no-hitters. He's had a 20K game. We remember, I think it was last year. Donnie, in his 82 starts, he's had 11 with a no-hitter going into the 6th inning.
He's amazing. He's been and remember we brought up the point, like, you know, the Detroit Tigers don't spend their money the right way. How the hell did they let him just get out of town? My goodness.
And take Jordan Zimmerman.
And take Jordan Zimmerman, and we're going to give, you know, the money to Justin Verlander. You had Max Scherzer after getting him a trade. And imagine if he just stayed with the D-backs. You know what I mean? But, I mean, that's neither here nor there. But, my God, he turned into a monster in Detroit, and you let him get out the door. The hardest thing to do is find a bulldog #1 ace starter, and you're just like, yeah, we're not going to pay for you.
I mean, Mike Trout's WAR with the Angels is like 14.3. Take a guess at what Max Scherzer's is with the Nationals.
What is it?
17.3. That's
yeah. He's a bulldog, man, and a power pitcher. Yeah. Like you figure he would have arm problems at this point. Nope, nothing.
Yeah, I'm not. There's no one I'd pick over him right now in baseball. I mean, he's elite, man. So you buy both these, Donnie. Very good.
I buy both of them. Yes.
So Marino, this question is for you and also for Donnie. Actually, this is kind of just a dab at Tho Marino in a way. Donnie, the Philadelphia Eagles today were voted the #1 offensive line headed into 2017 by Pro Football Focus. Do you agree with that?
I do not. I sell that. There's another team in the division with a little bit better offensive line than the Philadelphia Eagles have.
I would have to agree with you slightly, but Tho Marino has made it clear he doesn't like the Eagles' offensive line. He thinks they're weak and too small and old. But according to the numbers, you look at some of these numbers. Last year going into the end of the year, they were 12th at the conclusion of the season. But among them, obviously Jason Peters, his grade very high. Alan Barber's been very good. They re-aligned it with Brandon Brooks and Lane Johnson back in there. So you still think, though, the Cowboys are better. I
I do think the Cowboys are better overall as a unit. They're a little bit younger, not as long. I mean, Lane Johnson, obviously with the steroid issues, but he's a very good right tackle. Jason Peters, when healthy, still a very good right tackle. Also have a couple power guards up there with Brooks. Not a huge fan of Kelsey, but certainly serviceable. And again, have some depth at the other guard position as well. They're a very, very good offensive line, I would agree. But Dallas, when I just watched them get it going with Zeke Elliott in the backfield, I mean, they're amazing, man. They really are.
I think one good thing about the Eagles that we haven't seen in a while is they have some depth now, and they have guys that have started in this league. I mean, Halapuli Vadi Vaitai, he's had some snaps. Sia Malu's had a little bit of some reps. Wisniewski and Warmack, good.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth there. You're right. You're absolutely right, man.
Yeah, that's one thing with the Eagles we haven't seen in a while, but I would agree. I thought you would say that. I definitely will sell. Again, Thor Marino, I didn't create this list. Pro Football Talk, Pro Football Focus did. I didn't. Fourth question, Donnie. Obviously, there's some big news lately with the great state of New Jersey and legalized sports betting. Buy or sell that New Jersey will have legalized sports betting by beginning of NFL 2019.
By 2019, Jeff, I'm going to probably say no, but I buy the fact that New Jersey is going to eventually get sports gambling invoked, which is going to be great because it's going to spread like wildfire to the rest of the country once it gets approved. If you've been following all along, as most of us have, especially being in New Jersey, it was about 4 to 5 years ago where they actually put it up to a vote in New Jersey whether or not the citizens even wanted to have legalized sports gambling, and it passed by a 2 to 3 or a 3 to 2 like 66% margin, 2/3 margin is what I was trying to say there. And going through all along the legal wrangling, the millions of dollars, and going through the legal circuits. The problem is you can't really get to the Supreme Court of the United States. You have to work your way around the circuit courts locally, and they're hard to overturn because those smaller court systems are already built in to what the national guideline was with PASPA, which is the original agreement set up by Bill Bradley. The one thing we always had a problem with in New Jersey is we're too knuckleheaded at times. In 1992, back when it was basically, Jeff, Atlantic City, and Atlantic City was a monster, the government gave the state of New Jersey 6 months to get their house in order, and they would be able to sneak in and get sports gambling legalized. But we all know back in the day, a lot of people, Jeff, had their hands out. And if you're a state senator, you have a vote in this process. Who's to say that a local mobster, gambler, somebody from underground is going to say, look, I'll contribute $100,000 to your campaign next year. Vote no on this. And obviously, we know that's what happened because New Jersey didn't get it in time under the wire to get overall approval. Now, moving it over to today's concept and why the ruling yesterday was so big is that the Solicitor General of the United States, Jeff, said and did not agree and want the Supreme Court to pick up the actual judgment that they're going after. Well, the very next day, they don't listen to the Supreme Court, the state's, getting this confused, the Solicitor General, and they pick it up. The one good thing about that, Jeff, when you're looking at the Supreme Court of the United States, they're not in the business of fucking around. And what I mean by that is they don't take on cases that have already been turned down just to turn them down again. There's a massive approval rating that when the Supreme Court of the United States picks up something that they need to look at, there's a better than not chance they're going to overturn it because the Supreme Court is not into wasting people's time, which is why it's big.
Atlantic City holds no weight in New Jersey anymore. Well, maybe right now, but if they bring gambling in here, it'll be the premier destination on the East Coast for a lot of people because, one thing you have here that you don't have anywhere else, you have an experience. You have a vacation spot. You have a beach to send your kids to and your wife to when you want to do a little gambling. That's something that Las Vegas, Donnie, will never have. We have go to Las Vegas, Donnie. It's truly in the middle of a desert, isn't it? Right in the middle of a desert. Around here, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, Boston, all a plane ride or drive away. Atlantic City will be back, Donnie. It's already starting to get there. Hard Rock coming in. Obviously, we're close with sports betting, a lot going on. I disagree, and I think it will be back. And it's going to.
And the big thing, Jeff, we all know, it's not sports gambling that makes the money. That's not even the point of it. Where you always see like David Purdom or whoever, some of the guys out in Las Vegas, penny slots make $250 million profit a month, and sports gambling's down there at like $9 or $10 million. So you say, well, what's the big deal about getting sports gambling? It's not the overall wagers that are in. Think about the sports gambler. I'm a family guy. My father's a gambler. Jeff, you're a gambler. Here's what happens in Atlantic City. Hun, let's go down for the weekend. College football's on. The NFL's on. We'll set up dinner reservations on Friday and Saturday night. You can hit the spa Saturday. I'll hang out with the fellas. I'll gamble a little bit. We'll go out. We'll hit the town. There's millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars flooded in through hotel rooms.
Right.
Not even at the actual casino, Jeff. There's millions of good restaurants in Atlantic City alone that will be booked and booked to the brim. Imagine on a March Madness weekend, Jeff, for an NFL weekend in Atlantic City. You won't be able to find a hotel room down there. That's billions of dollars into the economy, even though, quote unquote, the casino's not going to win that much off sports gamblers. It's the added attractions.
It's we can make this a destination, Tom.
Absolutely.
As opposed to, and what that means is we're going to clean this city up. It's not going to be what it is now. It's a ghost town. Go up to where Revel is. There's nothing. It is literally, you can hear tumbleweeds. It's really amazing. It's going to come back, I'm telling you, and it's going to be a premier destination in the next 10 years. Big man on campus, I'm a Jersey guy. Haven't been to AC in a couple years. Is Revel still open? No, Revel is shuttered. There's no lights on in the building, completely gone. Nothing going there. It was recently bought. I don't know what will be going in there, but we poured a drink out for Revel, Donnie, because the Revel Beach Bar, they had a club outside. It was dope.
It was I mean, come on. It's the newest casino down there. They built it right out on the point, literally. I've been there multiple times before it closed down. All glass, sit in a restaurant and look at the ocean, and it failed just because there was no market for it. It literally sat vacant for what, a year and a half or 2 years to even finish it. The guys that came in originally to build that, it was a $2 billion hotel. They came in and dropped like $1.2 billion, didn't finish it, and through all like wrangling, the guy who ended up buying it bought it for like $250 million when it's a $2 billion property sitting right on the ocean. But again, if you don't have enough customers there, nothing is going to work. Doesn't matter if you have the beach or wherever the hell it's at, it's not going to work. But obviously, if you can re-expand that sports gambling, that's going to add everybody coming back into the area to pull full weekends down there, you know?
Yeah, it's just a huge moneymaker in all senses of the word. Think about how cool that would be on on Super Bowl Sunday. I mean, down there. I mean, it's awesome.
Amazing. It would be unbelievable. It's Atlantic City is a great place, and obviously the more money that comes up, you clean up the riffraff, because if you go a block or two away from certain instances, Atlantic City, it's not the greatest place in the world. It's a fantastic beach, but again, when the money comes in, the people comes in, and everything gets cleaned up there. You forget way back in the 90s when Atlantic City was still booming. They made one of the premier high schools, took it from in the middle of the city and moved it out off of the Black Horse Pike and damn near looked like a shopping mall, because that's how much money was filling in over the coffers. When Atlantic City is hot, New Jersey has money.
Right. No, I agree. I'm waiting on it, man. I mean, I'm so close. I mean, I can see it from my third floor. I mean, it's right there. It's so, it's so destined for something big. So we're looking forward to it, man. We really are. Donnie, also another great point to reference. This and that more will be talked about at the International Betting Conference for Football down in Costa Rica, coming up August 4th and 5th. Zach, I mean, what are we doing here with some of the free trips? I mean, how are we going to give those away? I mean, we haven't gotten to what we're doing there. We have to come up with that.
You know who'd be another great guest down there? I don't know if even Zach could even pull him, but do you follow like Daniel Wallach on Twitter, Jeff?
Yes, I do.
He's like the premier guy on sports gambling in the country. He would be amazing.
I actually, Donnie, had him booked to come on our show, but he got sick. He had like some really bad infection or something, and he was going to come on several weeks ago. But yeah, that would be a great guy to have on. He's a stand.
He's right in. He was in from day one on that. Explains everything down to a T. He's a great follow on Twitter, and obviously, in that August, there's going to be going through, the memos and the open hearings with sports gambling. I mean, he's a great follow. Even if he doesn't come to the convention or whatever, I would definitely follow him on Twitter, because if you're looking at sports gambling going nationwide, he can explain everything right down to the T. He's a great follow. There's a couple really good New Jersey writers as well, because again, New Jersey's on the forefront of this. If New Jersey cracks the code, it's going to bleed to all 50 states, and it's going to be one big party, man.
Yeah, it's going to be like in England, there's like a betting shop on every street, Donnie.
Yeah, I can't wait. Patty power, baby.
Couple calls here. Let's get into them.
Big man on campus. This is Harold from Louisiana. Quick question: would face the Los Angeles Dodgers be a good play from here on out? They're pretty hot.
No way. Fading them? No way. I think he's trying to get ahead of the curve there, Donnie. Saying that should we fade the Dodgers going forward? No way. How could you?
Yeah, I don't know. What would you? I mean, fade them because they're going to be big favorites, or fade them because you think they're going to come back to the pack and not be very good? I don't see him I don't see him coming back to the pack.
I guess thinking of regression like we've seen with the Yankees or the Rockies or something like that. But notice to him, I mean, the good teams are really starting to fortify themselves. I mean, the Dodgers, Houston, Washington, they all have leads in their division. So I don't think that's going to happen. Yes, Big Simon, we'll be playing your call momentarily here. Next up, Donnie. Oh, look who called, Donnie.
Go ahead.
What's up, fellas? Ryan, reaching out to you guys here. Just got a quick question about the Birds. With the NFC East this year, I don't think it's far-fetched to think the Eagles can make a run at this division. I mean, you got to think Dak, takes a little bit of a step back than he did last year. The Giants, their offense, numbers-wise, was awful last year. The Redskins, I'm not a believer in. So I think this division's up for grabs. What do you guys think?
What do you think, Donnie?
I think the division is up for grabs. I still think I give Dallas the nod over everybody in the NFC East just because, the offensive line, they have some weapons out there. Des Bryant, obviously the running game, good quarterback. They're going to be a little bit better on defense. But I do obviously think it's up for grabs. If you ask me to put it in order of how I think the NFC East is going to go down, I think Dallas is going to win it. The Eagles come in second, the Redskins third, and the Giants fourth. If you're looking at teams that overall improved themselves the most, the one thing, I'm surprised the Eagles even won games last year with the way their offense was set up, with how horrific the wide receivers were. Now you have a couple weapons on that end of it. But I do see a nice bunch up from first place, Jeff, maybe 11-5 and 10-6 to the bottom of the barrel, maybe 7-9 Giants, somewhere in that range there. But I do think it's going to be a close one. Do I think the Eagles can win the division? Possibly, but I'm not expecting it there.
Current odds in the NFC East, Donnie. Dallas 120, Giants 265, Eagles at 4-1, and the Redskins at almost 6-1. So, yeah, I think the pecking order is Dallas, Eagles and Giants, Redskins.
Yeah.
Again, the one problem I have with the Eagles is, and I'll continue to say it, is the issue with the secondary, and that's the one problem. All right, next person to follow, Zach Jones on Twitter, and sign up at IFBC Live. We have a free room in the entire stay.
There you go.
Zach,
out them golden tickets, baby.
Zach_SBR. Zach_SBR. You also have to sign up at ifbc.live. The first person to do that will win a free room for the entire stay. And I'll even toss in a free surfing lesson. There you go. How about that?
Yeah, the beach is how far away from Escazú?
And you have to DM him. I'm not sure, Don. I don't believe.
I was looking at it a little bit today. It looks like it's a little way off, but I can't get my bearings on if it's a 25-minute drive or it's like me, maybe about 40 minutes away, like I am from Atlantic City.
So go and contact Zach_SBR. Follow him, DM him. Try to get that free ticket. Let's make it happen. 1 hour away, Donnie. So it's basically from Philly to Atlantic City.
Yeah, it can't be too much. Is there traffic in Costa Rica? I mean, what are we doing out there?
A lot of motorcycles, things like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Take the moped to the beach. I like it.
All right, Big Simon. Here we go. Here's Big Simon, Donnie, calling in. You want to hear from him?
Go. Get it.
All right. Hold on 1 second. His message was kind of long. Here we go.
What's up, Jeffrey and Donald, the Late Night on Campus crew? Hey, everybody at SBR, all the SBR brass, the big boys, the producers that make the shows, and to SBR Commentary. This is Big Simon again, and I was just so plowed under last night. I won't be able to watch live tonight, but I wanted to call to make my case in the lobby a little bit for SBR to get me to Costa Rica for this conference that everybody is so excited about. Send old vigorous Simon a present. Actually, we'll be able to block out a little time and make it down there if you hook me up. But to quickly elaborate on why I'm just a little worried after years of mildly harassing some of you guys, there's this bridge. It was made famous as a cultural artifact to those of us in the SBR community. This bridge was made famous by this guy. He used to be in all the videos, this guy, and now he isn't. Anyway, there's this huge high-ass bridge with enormous swarming fucking crocodiles under it waiting to eat you alive. You can Google this thing. And now I can just see it. I go down there, someone like Al McMorty. I know you're the big man at college, but this guy's big Al McMorty. figuratively and literally, the guy loves his barbecue. Anyway, he'll suggest like, oh, let's go out to this bridge. And the story the next day will be, hey, that fucking Big Simon guy was overindulging. He had a few party favors he couldn't handle, and that was that. And everybody will believe it. The narrative will just be like, hey, this fucking guy likes his cold one. He came to Costa Rica for a DJing conference at some sleazy casino with a bunch of shady gamblers, and tragedies happen, you know? Anyway, you know you want to send me a ticket because there's no way that I'm going to top 5 in that contest if I follow the advice of your shows.
Okay, first things first. I got to pick this apart. First of all, Big Simon, I don't know what Colombian yayo you're snorting, but you got to tone it down a little bit. You're talking way too fast.
By the way, I have a comment. Hearing his voice for the first time, just looking at his, I don't really go into the avatar, but just looking at what it is, I pictured Big Simon like a 6'5", 320-pound black truck driver.
No, I didn't. I thought that's exactly who he'd be like. He's literally talking so fast. Yeah. I guess I'm really interested in coming down. I want to chill out, man. He does hate Al McMorty though. I know that. So Al might throw him off the bridge. And Mike Brenner made that famous.
Is Al McMorty going to be down there?
I don't know, but the bridge he's talking about, Mike Brenner made famous. He went to this like bridge somewhere, and I guess it was like throwing animal guts down in this like.
I saw it. Yeah, I think he just pulled over on the side of the road, and he was looking down there. I saw that video. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I guess if someone can get Vig down there, he has mildly harassed a lot of us over the years, so. There might not be people that are happy, but I think people will be overly interested.
No, I love it. See, I love stuff like that you get to meet. Because, again, if they got balls enough to meet in person and come down there, I mean, you're going to break bread. Nobody's going down to a convention to get angry at somebody. It's all, a lot of this ribbing is all in good fun. And get a little ribbon when you're down there. Have a couple cocktails, cigars, gamble a little bit. Be like, look at this guy. This guy busted my balls for a year and a half. Here he is. And we can all break bread together.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what I was thinking, Donnie. I did want to play something that I did want to get to. Obviously, if you were on the show last night, you heard it, but I thought it was so funny I wanted to play it again, Donnie.
Go ahead.
Hold on one second here. I gotta get the thing out.
Your apartment. I'm a verified Twitter user, also verified on Facebook. Got the little blue check mark on both. And I will not be talking or mentioning you ever again. Do not. And I would recommend you do the same because you're a nobody and I'm verified. I'm only going to talk to people that are verified, celebrities, shit like that. Thomas Rawls, running back to the Seahawks. I just been talking to him for a little bit. Celebrities talk to other celebrities, let you know. But anyway, Fat Boy, you have a good one, and you continue to fucking lose. And I'll be keeping an eye on you. I got a guy checking you out, so we can pay you every day. Easiest money we've ever fucking made in our lives. You're so jealous. It's funny. Fucking loser.
Don't ever lose that. I'm telling you, played it. Yes, don't ever lose that That
free the real one, Chris Barr. Free the real one.
Man, it's a great email. That's just a great voicemail, man.
One more. Our friend always calling in.
Big man, Donnie right side. Good being here. Top 5 biggest busts in sports history. I'm going to go with Ryan Leaf. I want your guys' take on that. You can each give me your top 5 on that. And big man, you're going out tonight drinking. Hope you get some black pussy, buddy. Take it easy, buddy.
Thank you, Jim.
What was the first part?
Who are the biggest sports busts ever?
Oh, wow.
He says Ryan Leaf. I mean, Sean Bradley was pretty busty.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of busts out there. Tony Mandarich back in the day who went to Green Bay all juiced up and, couldn't juice anymore, so he's a bust. I mean, yeah, there's the Kwame Brown. I mean, this is littered.
Kwame Brown, I think, should still be in the NBA, honestly. I think. But
yeah, he was.
Greg Oden.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you would have to put him up there. Sam Bowie, yeah. I mean,
that's a good one, yeah. Ryan Leaf is pretty good, though. That whole group, Tim Couch, Ryan Leaf, all
Couch is terrible. Yeah, looking at like number 1 overall type players, yeah, there's no question. Anthony Bennett, Cleveland, just bust.
Yeah, whatever happened to that loser?
Jesus Christ. What a terrible draft. But nobody talks about that draft as a whole. When you have to take Anthony Bennett #1, good grief.
Michael
Who the hell
Olaf,
was coming out that year? Yeah, Ola Candy, good one.
the
Yeah.
Candy Man from Pacific University. That's
Marinovich. I love Todd Marinovich's story with his dad, man. What a nut job. Man. Woo.
Anthony Bennett. Do you happen to know what he's up to nowadays, Donnie?
Sure. I don't know. Maybe he's getting his adenoids taken out so he can breathe again or something like that.
He plays in the Turkish basketball league.
Yeah, Kijana Carter out there. Yeah, Johnny Football bust. I want to look more like top. Like Kijana Carter was taken way up high, so I agree with that.
I don't think Johnny Manziel's a bust. I mean, no one who really thought
he's a bust, but yeah, he's taken in the 20s. So I want to look at like those guys like top 3 picks.
But did anyone look at him and say he's going to be a fantastic NBA player? Like
Harold Miner, yeah. I don't know if Harold Miner even was supposed to be much of anything. He wins a slam dunk competition and he turns into Baby Jordan. Yeah.
I think the most tragic takedown I've ever heard as far as busts are concerned, and no one's ever really heard of this guy, but Showtime did a documentary on this guy named Lenny Cook a year or two ago, and he was actually
Len Bias. Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Well, no, Lenny Cook. Coming up, he was in the same draft class with LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony. He played against all of them when he was younger, and he was actually rated higher than both of them.
I did see that. Yep, you're right. You're absolutely right.
It's an amazing documentary because someone follows him around, and now he lives in like a mobile home park in like North Carolina, and they paid for him to. He's like overweight now. He's totally out of best shape, and he's like a delivery driver of some sort, and they paid for him to go up to the Garden and meet with Carmelo.
Yeah.
And after the game, he's like waiting around like a little kid, like to meet Carmelo. He doesn't get like any sort of, like VIP or anything. He just literally waits for him to come out. And he walks up to Carmelo, and Melo looks at him and he goes, "Lenny, is that you?" And he didn't even know. And it was just like, you could tell he was kind of laughing in a way. He's like, "Wow, look at this fucking guy now. My God." But his whole thing was he skipped to college. He didn't go to college and just, he started to lose interest in like practicing and stuff, and he just gave up. And now he's a nobody. But you really think about it, Donnie, and think to yourself, when you're in that position, you're truly 1 in a million to do that. I mean,
yeah.
you don't really think about practice and things like that, but Curtis Enos, that's a great one. He was a really good player at Penn State. Wow.
Yeah, same thing with Kijana Carter. They had a couple of those backs like that.
He works at a factory? Wow, I didn't know that. I get a feeling you're right, Jim Beam. Lonzo Ball will be on this list. I get a weird feeling you're right, man. I get a feeling he just falls flat in his face. And I'm telling you, that group is literally the O'Doyles from Billy Madison. That is them.
There's another running back out there. What about the guy who was real tragic story? Do you remember Rashawn Salam out of Colorado won the Heisman, went to the Bears, ended up dead? Yeah, what a tragedy, man.
Sure. Yeah, there are a lot of busts. Jim Beam, actually a very good call tonight. Good for you. You don't usually have any good calls, but that was a good call.
Who was in that Anthony Bennett draft? Like, who was like the top 5 in that? Like, how the hell did Anthony Bennett go 1 to Cleveland?
Well, it was actually a fairly good draft, Donnie.
Was it? Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at the couple picks, Donnie, there, and kind of who went after that. I mean, you look at, 2007, so it's literally 4 drafts ago. Number 1, Anthony Bennett. Actually, then again, it wasn't that good a draft. Anthony Bennett, Oladipo, Otto Porter, Cody Zeller, Alex Lynn, Nerlens Noel. I mean, there's a lot of busts in that group.
Man.
Ben McLemore, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Trey Burke. I mean, you got to get down to 15. Bucks took Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
Let's look at who else is good here?
Sucked too. Good calls.
Rudy Gobert went 27th. But you look at a lot of these guys. I mean, this is a shitty draft. I mean,
Jason Williams. Yep, that's a good one there. Kenyon Martin, I guess you could probably put up there too, right?
As a bust?
Guys going up high, yeah. What did Kenyon Martin do? Did he do much?
He's a pretty good NBA player, I think. I always thought Jason Williams, which Jason Williams, not white chocolate.
Duke's Jason Williams.
Oh, he got a car accident, or he got a motorcycle accident.
He's still got to be a bust, though. You didn't turn out.
Yeah.
Hey, like guys that do that too. Stay off a motorcycle. Big Ben was like that as well when he almost cracked his skull like a eggshell out in Pittsburgh. And I remember Bill Cowher brought him in. Organization called him in and said, "Look, hey, state of Pennsylvania, you don't have to wear a helmet, but come on, like you're the leader of this franchise. A lot of people depend on you. Please wear a helmet." Yeah, I'm not going to wear a helmet. Big Ben, class guy of all time.
Think if Donnie, think if the Cavs, instead of taking Anthony Bennett, they like really reached and took Giannis.
Yeah, but nobody was going to take that guy. You didn't know anything about
He's the
Giannis.
same like player. Adam Morrison, that's a good one. That's really
That is a good one. Great one, Adam Morrison. Yeah.
Eddie Curry, that was a really good one.
Remember that was Eddie Curry and Tyson Chandler the same draft that year? They both went to the Bulls.
Eddie Curry, Tyson Chandler, Darius Miles.
Yeah, remember that whole crew for with Kenyon Dooling and all those guys. Who was it? Quentin Richardson.
And you know what's crazy, Donnie? Other than LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, I mean, who were obviously some of the best players.
Derek Coleman was the bust. Stop it.
But none of those guys, like Eddie Curry, Darius Miles, all those guys, none of them ever did anything.
No.
They all were busts. Celtics took Kelly Olynyk over Antetokounmpo. Good call. Good stuff, Vic. Not Vic. Jim Beam. That was a good call by you.
Jim Beam said Derek Coleman's a bust, though. I don't agree with that.
No, I don't think he was. It's Sebastian Telfair, kind of. I could see where you're going there.
He was in the rap game.
Yeah, now he's
he had it really good. They followed him around for a while when he was supposed to go to Louisville.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Telfair. He had his whole little things put together.
He was the king of Brooklyn forever.
Yeah, he was. Yep.
But all right, Donnie, that'll be it for tonight.
Yeah,
we do have to get to one thing about Ryan Leaf. I wanted to point out quickly. Did you ever see when he flips out on that reporter?
Yeah, it's in there. Don't talk to me.
He's like, I don't know.
Yeah. And Junior Seau had to step in. One of the best things about Ryan Leaf of all time, Jeff, I think I told this story on the air as well, was the time that he was in the middle of a season on a Saturday afternoon playing in a flag football league, and the Chargers lost their freaking mind. Junior
Seau did this?
No, Ryan Leaf played in a flag football league during football season on Saturdays. You believe that?
No, I can't.
Jesus Christ.
Amazing. A couple updates in baseball, Donnie. 8-2 Yankees. Houston up 10-8. That one's getting interesting. St. Louis has a 3-1 lead on Arizona. And the Padres are up 4-0 on the Atlanta Braves. So we'll finish out the night here, Donnie. Hope everyone has a great night. Obviously, get in touch with Zach Jones on Twitter. He's still looking for the first person to hit him up.
He's got a winner, though. He came up in the chat box, said he's got a winner.
Who's the winner? Can we announce them?
I don't know. Zach's still out here. Zach go to sleep on us.
Who was the first winner, Zach?
I think it was me.
Will Cologne get another start? Yeah, I think he will. I don't think Jared.
Yeah, where the hell are the Braves going? They ain't going anywhere.
Who was the winner, Zach? I mean, who was it? Don't hide from us here. We want to know who the winner was.
Sosana's in. Bang. There you go. Okay. Cigars.
I actually talked with Zach Sosana the other night. He called me. We chatted for a little bit. Good, nice guy, for sure.
Yeah. Giving out a second one, so somebody get in touch with him.
Yeah, well, give us a couple. We want to throw a couple out to people. I need to pick my people wisely here. I need to form an alliance or an entourage of some sort. All right, everyone have a great night. We'll be back Friday with the right side of campus at 12:30. We're off tomorrow, guys, so no shows for either of us. I don't know if I'm on a soccer show. I might be. I have to check my schedule here. Everyone have a great night. Donnie, any last words for tonight before we go?
No, let's get after tomorrow. Thursday, you got some day baseball. We'll have a lot of fun. We're not going to be on the air together, so hopefully we can pick out some winners and have a good time. But again, check out that football conference. Meet us down there. Again, it's going to be a great time. You just don't get a great hotel. It's a casino. We're going to be able to sports gamble. We're going to be able to hang out at night, shoot the shit. Really, if you're involved in it, it's not that expensive to get down there, and hopefully we could maybe pay for that hotel room for you. What's up?
This guy, Robert Martin, read his comments.
Big man, smell your seat, bro. Ha, ha, ha.
When you guys get off your chairs, smell your seat.
Maybe he's going to win one of the tickets to get down there.
It's Germany tomorrow. That's right. I'm on. Yes, Germany. Yes, they will beat Mexico.
Robinson's down there. These people, this is going to be fun, man. We're going to have a right side of campus, late night of campus faction down there to take over, Jeff. You know what I mean?
Yes. I noticed Stone Marino's not on his way. Stone Marino come out of his lair at some point and come down. What's up with that?
He might fly down. He might fly down under an alias.
Watch him fly down and be like a chick or something. Like a hot-ass chick or something.
He'll fly down. He's probably like Ryan Howard or somebody.
Donnie, if it was Entourage, Donnie would definitely be Eric in Entourage. That would definitely be him.
Who would you be? Turtle? Like, who would you be?
Probably, yeah. Who would be Vince?
I don't know. Somebody at SBR who could fit that profile there.
Peter Loshek would be Johnny Drama for sure.
That's yeah.
And then I don't know, Zach. I guess
Zach would be Ari Gold, maybe.
Oh, Ari Gold would be maybe Cynthia. Yeah. Third Marino, don't stop making excuses. Come down, show your face. All right, Donnie. Thank you.
Yep. Peace. We're out of here.